This is GameDec. I haven't played it before, but I get the impression that it might be a little bit evocative of one of my favorite recent narrative games, Disco Elysium. The reason I say that is because it says that it's sort of an isometric, narrative-driven game with no combat that's about solving mysteries in a virtual world. I'm taking some of that text from actually Cogs242 in my chat has sort of posted a description of the game that he got from reading reviews. And that's about the impression that I'd gotten too, that this was, maybe had the perspective of like, say, an Obsidian RPG, very much the way that Disco Elysium does, except that it's mostly, it's more of an adventure game than, say, like a combat-focused, role-playing game. So I'm curious about it. I often, games that involve a lot of talking and a lot of reading, I often avoid on my stream just because, I don't know, I worry about it just it's like we're just sitting here watching the game passively together instead of discussing it and talking about it while we play it. And so I'm not sure how well this will work as a game to stream because I haven't played it before. But let's get started, see what it is together, and then see if we want to spend more time streaming it.
It's a strange profession, game deck. You're neither a player nor a detective. You know the rules and how people break them. How they leave a digital trail. And there is always a trail. A flaw in the source code. Backdoors used by cheaters. Anonymity skins, used to cover up unpopular activities. All can be found. All can be traced. With a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. Sometimes more than a little. Because there are surprises, even for a game deck. But in the end, you keep your eyes on the prize. This is my story. What's yours?
Okay, so I'm like a hard-boiled detective who goes into video games to hunt down criminals. Oh, okay. So I get to create my character? I mean, obviously, this is going to be my name. He, him, sure. This actually makes me want to try to play as myself. Origin, low city, high city. Let's say high city. The dominant value guiding your character before they chose a game deck profession. Self-direction, stimulation, hedonism, achievement, power, security, conformity, tradition, benevolence, universalism. I don't think I don't understand this, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like it's, I mean, I can evaluate the word. Benevolence does seem like sort of the attitude I want to take, but I'm not sure what it means to these icons down below. I wish there was more explanation here. Okay, so this guy, I mean, he's got my favorite hairstyle, but it doesn't look much like me. That guy does look a little bit more like me. A bunch of presets here. Actually, I really kind of like the female version of this model. I think maybe I'll switch it up and go with her. You can't even see her face. I'm not sure where to put my head, actually. The entire screen is being used here. So maybe I'll hide over here. And I'm starting in my apartment. I didn't remember why I'd become a game deck. Dialogue option. To choose a dialogue option, left-click its text or click the corresponding number on your keyboard. Okay, that works. At some point, I must have decided that it was a reasonable way of making money. Then I just got used to it. Recall my career. I solved numerous cases. Okay, so we're kind of doing this like I'm the hard-boiled, or whatever, like the film noir narrator in the background, and so I can kind of actually decide what I want to think about for the benefit of the audience. I kind of like that. I solved numerous cases, so people started to believe I was credible, and credibility was crucial in my line of work. Pretty much everything could be falsified, but you can't fake credibility. Games, besides being my workplace, also became my second home. Did I ever play for fun? Yeah, sometimes I did. I was surrounded by the real world, that is, Realium. I could hear Warsaw City humming outside the window. I lived in Towerstone in Wola. It was the end of the 22nd century, and people were crazy happy. Kidding. Some were, some weren't. Which group did I belong to? I wasn't sure. Okay, so we're in Warsaw. Good game industry town. It was time to check if there were any new jobs. Okay, so I click on the ground to move around. Hello. Let's look out the window. Warsaw City, my polis. Walkways, squares, space, chasms is what modern cities look like. The middle layer, mid-city. Despite dense developments, you could still see the sun and pieces of the sky, as well as the long way down. Nice view. I felt a connection with the people above and below. I could hear the transit tubes, pneumobiles, and humming ads. It was never quiet.
Void stars, play now.
Void stars, huh? This was where the rich met the poor, the light met the darkness. A place where you could be pretty much whoever you wanted to be. I think I might have the volume a little high. Let me pull that back a little bit. And where advertising drones peep through people's windows looking for new victims. Let's get out of here. Oh, wait. I can't. Huh. So this is an ability I don't have yet? Maybe? Or will never have? It was time to face reality. Answering machine. Answering machine? What? Is it the 80s or the 90s? Okay, looks like we've got nothing.
Breaking news.
Warsaw City News, the latest domestic and international news all day long. Today's Monday, July 17th. My name is Gina Gord, and this is the news. Ken Zhao, the young star of Goodabads, loses the game miserably. Zhao blames everything on glitches in the game. Could this be the end of the youngster's career? That feels oddly translated. That's okay. So it's weird. In most games that are about something else, I try to ignore like little, lore opportunities whenever I can. Ooh, professions. Ooh, okay. Anyway, what I was saying was I tend to, because I worry that it's going to sort of disrupt the experience for people watching me on the stream. But since this game is all about this storytelling, I actually feel like I want to click on everything. So aspects are part of a game deck's personality expressed through actions, thoughts, and emotions. Be kind to gain the empathy aspect. Inspire someone to gain inspiration, etc. Aspects are grouped into the four following personality types: decisive red, analytical blue, creative yellow, and sociable green. Aspects are used to unlock professions. Hold down the left mouse button on a chosen profession to unlock it. Professions unlock special conversation options, enabling you to do more. Hover your cursor over a profession to see its description. Each profession requires a different personality. The description will indicate which aspects unlock a given profession. A profession will be highlighted if you have the required aspects. Click and hold the left button. Okay, so Glazier was probably one of these, right? Glazier. No. Oh, there it is, Glazier. So to be a Glazier, I need to have more of this. but I don't have it, so I can't get Glacier. Are there any of these that require higher benevolence? This one. Scalpel. You know how to communicate with metabots and how to stop a hemorrhage or stabilize the wounded. You can use medical equipment. You recognize disease symptoms and life-threatening conditions. You don't panic when someone loses consciousness. So that's one that I can unlock because I've got... Ooh, but I spent these points to get that. I thought I just qualified for it by having these points, but I actually expended them to do this. Okay, that's fine. Oh, but wait, sensory surgeon. Did this require that I had to have this first? Probably. Okay. Interesting. So that's how my character progression works. Let's have a look at my computer. My computer. It controlled the couch, communicated with the household appliances, let me send messages, and did everything else. It was old and could use an upgrade, but it still worked enough to be reliable. Mail. A few emails from clients I'd helped. I needed to reply to those. First message. Senator Stone was grateful for working out what his daughter was doing in Into the Dungeon 1337. Reply kindly. Oh, so I got a little bit more of that empathy aspect. I wrote that I was happy to hear from him and asked how his daughter was feeling. It's good to nurture relationships with clients. I got through the other emails quickly. Some were invitations to events, some were spam. I replied. Okay, let's check our contracts. Maybe someone took pity on me and offered me a job while I was away in Virtualia. A job! And it was urgent. I have a discreet and urgent matter for you. No. It's not separate from other matters. It's subtle. Spelled it wrong. Anyway, I'll pay good money. Please get back to me ASAP. Jeffrey Haggis? What? Should I be a little offended that my name is associated with a sheep stomach dish? I don't know. Yeah, let's contact Haggis. Mr. Haggis was worried. I needed to sense him. Hello, Jeffrey Haggis? I got your email. Oh, you're there. Please come see me. Blue Whales Interactive Tower, level 255, south entrance. I'll tell you everything when you're here. Details? Could you tell me some more information? I told you. I need you to get here first. Huh. I mean, down payment? Hold on. Let's have a little respect for each other's time. I don't know anything about the case, and I'm not sure whether a certain amount... I get it. You want a down payment. I'm transferring it right now. I hope it's enough. Yes? Great. I'm waiting. He disconnected. Well, I've been paid. I guess I should go. But also notice, because of that email that I sent, I now have another empathy point. Now, I can't use it for anything because I don't think I meet any of the requirements for any of these other skills. But it's worth noting that I'm going to be acquiring these through my actions and dialogue choices throughout the game. And that's going to give me the ability to unlock professions. So let's... Where's the exit? Is it down here? Ah, here we go. Solid doors protected me and my apartment. Or maybe they protected Warsaw City from me. All right, let's go see my client. Haggis's office. So it's just in a nearby tower, but way up near the top, under my head, where you can't see it. Destruct says, I'm disappointed that Jeffrey Haggis isn't wearing a kilt. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like that's the direction they were going with him, right? I thought of doing a Scottish accent, but knew how badly that would go. So here's Alfred. The director's office is behind that door. Mr. Haggis is expecting you. Right. Alfred. Am I following you? No? I noticed the gold frame as soon as I entered the room. Inspect the frame. It looked like gold, but I wasn't certain. It was easy enough to check. Scratch it. I took out my badge and used it to scratch the smooth surface. A deep groove appeared. Gold. Nice. I've done damage to it. It's a painting of Jeffrey Haggis. Oh, those directors and their inflated egos. But why was it hanging in the hall? A receptionist in love? Or maybe it was just corporate policy. I didn't have time for artistic elation. Okay. Oh, so, okay, what did I just get from... Oh, nothing. Okay, cool. Whatever. So I don't see Any other way to... Oh, this will open when I get close to it. All right. Hello, Haggis. The man took a deep breath and let the air out through his nose with a loud wheeze. Dialogue tags. So icons and tags appear to the left of the text. Oh, it means they've been unlocked by your previous decisions. Other players might see something different or nothing at all. There are several ways an interaction or dialogue branch can be unlocked. Your previous knowledge, past actions, and relationship. So is this... Which is which? A branch can also be unlocked by your background, a profession you've unlocked, or a deduction you've made. Okay, so he is saying this particular thing to me in greeting because of the way I talked to him over the phone last time. And it's making sure that I know that. So, yeah, you can see the thinking behind, what the game developers are doing here. Like, they're not just going to make a branching story. They're going to make sure you know every single time the story branched so that you understand the benefit of playing this game. It's like they want you to not just have the experience they're going for, but understand that you're having a special experience with this game so that you value it, and so you can tell. It's kind of like the whole, so-and-so will remember that you always got in Telltale games, where they're like, trying to underscore to you that your choices matter, even if you can't always immediately see how they matter. They want you to, and sometimes they didn't matter, but they used those markers to make you feel like they did and sort of like, make you value the game more than you might have otherwise. So, I'm going to take the initiative. Mr. Haggis, I'm a game deck, and yes, I know, wonderful. Something's wrong with my son. He's not getting off the couch, and, well, you see for yourself. It's been over 4 days. He entered some game with his friend Timmy. I've tried talking to Timmy, but he's clammed up. His condition makes me worry even more. My son is on the couch in the next room. Let's go there now. So these are like VR couches, and it's like maybe dangerous to just pull him right out. Here he is. Find out what's going on with him and how he can be helped. Haggis' son was wearing an expensive brand-name suit, and state-of-the-art helmet covered part of his face. The couch's side panel warned he'd exceeded the online time limit. I couldn't help notice the genital area of his gaming suit was bulging. I'm not sure where this is going. Examine Fredo? Touch his hand, sure. I took his hand. It was slightly trembling, but with a normal temperature. That happens in games that generate lots of adrenaline. His fingertips were covered with sweat. No, not sweat. I rubbed the sticky substance between my fingers and sniffed. Berries and chewing gum? Okay, we definitely need to examine the bulge in the suit. That's very important. So some dialogue options are available only if you have the right profession. Such options begin with the name of the profession. Click the icon to the left edge of the screen, or press I to see the profession tree. Okay, so if I was an infotainer, I could check the brand of the soup. The soup of the suit. Anti-bed sore software. Interesting. Check the material. The nanofiber material was adjusted to fit the muscles. It provided stimulation and protected the user from dystrophy. So they're wearing a suit that lets them sort of live in a virtual world for a really long time and will actually keep their body alive while they're in a fake place. I ran my fingers over the suit's surface. The synthetic fibers emitted more heat in the places where they needed to work harder. By the way, I love the way that they're just like suggesting things about the way things work in this world by telling you details and letting you surmise sort of the bigger picture. Haggis cleared his throat impatiently. I welcome your conclusions when you're ready. Let's look at the helmet. I leaned over to get a better look. I don't know what the helmet number would tell me, but let's check the screen. The visor screen had no info on Fredo's virtual location, an intentional safeguard. The helmet didn't have an observer port either. There's no way to see what he was playing. Full discretion. Let's check the number. To get a look at the number, I had to lift the boy's head. He's moaning. Careful, you're hurting him. Okay, I'm a scalpel, so I say, relax. He'll be fine. I've done this hundreds of times. Trust me. Do what you must. I turned his head to... I hope that I'm telling the truth. That this is not actually dangerous. He exhaled heavily. Okay. Ooh, so I got some stuff, a new aspect, I got some data. So I've got the serial number. Any conclusions? I'm starting to lose my patience. Okay, so as a scalpel, I can now present a report. Mr. Haggis, Fredo's life is not in danger. He's properly devitalized and fine from a medical standpoint. He's been logged in for over 4 days, but there are no signs of adverse effects from the session. This is some excellent equipment. Doing a heart extraction by taking the helmet off is a huge risk, and logging out remotely... It's impossible, I know. Like it is in most systems. Can you at least tell me where he's logged into? The virtualium data is masked by the helmet's discretion system. GameDeck equipment won't be any help here either. I need to find out which game Fredo is logged into and then take appropriate steps. I understand. Fredo entered the game with his friend Timmy. He's a spineless pushover, but that might be for the best. He's waiting in my office. Maybe he can tell us something. You better hurry, though, as someone's on their way to pick him up. Okay, the Codex is a popular GameDex tool. The Codex contains important information that you gathered during your investigations. Left-click an icon at the edge of the screen, or press U on your keyboard to open the Codex. All right, let's get to work. So, okay, so the Codex. This is the information I have on Jeffrey Haggis. But personality types? Oh, there's a lot of information. Okay, I'm not going to try to read all this information on here. But where did I get... I got some information. Oh, this is Fredo. Okay. Okay, so I've found out number 2 of 3 things I could have found out about Fredo. And maybe if I'd had different skills or just made different choices, I would have found out different information about him right now. So I'm curious, who's this woman? There was a rather provocatively dressed 20-something woman on the couch. The device's panel was flashing warnings. Let's look at the panel. She'd exceeded the safety limits for logged-in time. Over 4 days without a suit. Ah, she must have taken a game pill or her bladder wouldn't have held out. A game pill? They have game pills that make it so you don't have to pee for 4 days? Really? Okay. She started revitalization, but something interrupted the process. Even though she couldn't control her body, I thought she could hear me. Her helmet had an external monitoring port. I could connect to it to see what happened. I feel like I should ask Haggis about her before I start messing with her. Who's she? I don't know. Timmy was babbling something about her being in the game with them. Let's have a look at her. She must have been planning a short session since she didn't put on a suit. The front of her body was cold and the back was overheated. She didn't have any bed sores yet. Leave the lowlife alone and save my son. His face burned red. She might have some crucial information. All right, just hurry up. Let's connect to the helmet and see what she's doing. The observer's port. He nodded. I see you're prepared. When I connected to her helmet, the image was transmitted to my lenses. Okay. The girl drifted in an undefined space. It wasn't the network menu or any of the games I knew. Hello, I'm a GameDeck. I was hired by Mr. Haggis. I connected to your helmet. You can talk and I'll hear you on my walk-tel. According to the login, your name is Starlet? Is that right? She moaned like she was in pain. A GameDeck? That's great. Yeah, I'm Starlet. I can't seem to log out. I want to ask you a few questions. If it helps me get out of here... what happened? How did you get here? I don't know. I don't even know where here is. I was in the game with the guys and someone attacked me. Who attacked you? In what game? Was Fredo Haggis there? Sometimes you'll gain information directly pertaining to the deduction process necessary for solving the case. Left-click the deduction icon on the edge of the screen, or press Y on the keyboard to see it. I'm confused and exhausted. I can't... Someone definitely attacked me. I blacked out. Okay, so the main nodes are the questions that are key to your deduction process in solving your case. Gather information and choose answers based on that information to unlock nodes until you reach the final conclusion. Okay, so I've got this question. How to help Fredo. Each main node in your deduction panel. So it's like an elaborate note-taking system, basically, for my detective character. Okay, so on the left side, you can see the clues you've gathered. Possible answers are listed to the right. Hover over them to learn more. Every decision in the deduction is binding and cannot be unmade. If you choose the option, let the father find his son in the game, you will in fact abandon this case. If you believe you have enough information, click and hold the left mouse button over your chosen answer. Okay, so I don't have any paths I can take yet, but this is a game with PvP mechanics. Okay, so that's all I know so far. I haven't unlocked any professions yet, have I? I don't think I have. No, I don't mean any requirements. Okay. So, her condition seems an important question. How are you feeling? I can't move or feel anything. I can only talk. And this emptiness. I'm going crazy in here. Your revitalization wasn't completed. I've seen it happen before, and I know how to help you. Let me try and help you. That's a weight off my shoulders. By the way, how's the audio doing? It feels like the music might be a little loud. I'm going to try to pull it back a little bit, but let me know if you would like me to change it in any other way. Okay, so a progress bar appeared in your quest log. It's influenced by your decisions and dialogue choices. Remember that maxing it out can prompt a negative or positive outcome depending on the situation. Okay, revitalizing her. So, let's analyze the problem. So as a scalpel, I'm so glad I chose this. I'm dealing with medical problems, and I just happen to choose a profession that's going to give me more information. Makes me feel very clever. Interrupted revitalization is rare. I could have pulled off her helmet, but that might have ended badly. There was a safer solution. By the way, I'm actually really... This right here, the experience I'm having right now, is making me feel like this might be a game that would be interesting to play multiple times with different characters, because even just my very first decisions I'm making are deeply shaped by the skills that I was able to choose, based on the sort of personality that I chose for my character up front. And it makes me wonder, like, what else I'll be able to do. Like will there be an entirely different approach to this problem that I'll take automatically, like it'll seem really obvious to take if I started with a different character. Revitalization is like waking someone up. The senses are activated in a specific order. Hearing is usually first. Starlet's was already working. Then comes proprioception, deep feeling, the ability to sense the positioning of one's own body. Then balance. Okay, so proprioception, then balance. Taste and smell are activated almost simultaneously, followed by touch. Vision comes last. So taste, touch, vision. Okay, Starlet, I think I know how to wake you. Wait, I hear laughter. What's happening? My deck detected the girl's helmet being bombarded with exabytes of data. Someone wanted to overload it and terminate our connection. Starlet, someone's trying to either stop us from talking or probe me. Damn it, what are you gonna do? The attack was intensifying. I didn't have much time. Okay. There's a firewall? Let's observe the signal. My connection was being overloaded with streams of incoming data. The walk tilt wasn't able to interpret it. One thing was certain. The attack was getting stronger by the second. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. So I could... So if I was sleeves, whatever that was, I could press her in some way, but... Okay, will a firewall slow it down and give me more time? Or will this be another wasted effort? I'll try the firewall. I'll activate some barriers to block the signal, but it's only a matter of time before they crack. It was possible to use jamming barriers to slow the attack, or some much weaker reflection barriers to track the attack's source. Okay, I've decided that I'm mostly a benevolent person, so I think saving her life is my most important priority. So I'm going to use jamming barriers. Wait, except that I've got the expertise. I might be able to pull her out without slowing it down because my expertise is so good. I'm going to use tracking barriers. It was coming from a virtualium. The attack's coming from a game. I don't know which one. I must have stepped on someone's toes. Too bad I can't remember whose or where. Okay, so we're going to revitalize her now. We don't have much time. I'm going to try to get you out of here. Finally. Okay, so let's awaken her by stimulating her senses. The correct order was key. The revitalization bar had stopped on stimulating proprioception. It seemed right to start with that. Starlet, I'm going to try finishing your revitalization. I'm going to need to touch your body. Is that okay? Do whatever's necessary. Okay, so moving her arm should help with proprioception. So I raised it, moved it around. The revitalization bar moved forward. Proprioception complete. A good start, but the screen didn't display the next stage. So it was balance next. So stimulate sense of balance. So I could rock her or raise her head. I guess rocking her might be better. Either of these might be good. I'll try rocking her. I grabbed her shoulders and gently rocked her from side to side. Her arms trembled. Oh, something's happening. I'm feeling dizzy. That means your inner ear has been stimulated. I can stimulate another sense. Okay, let's keep going. So I think it was touch and then smell. Does that sound right? Am I remembering that right? I think it was touch and then smell. Or was it... Vision was last. Let's do touch. I'm touching your right hand. Can you feel it? I don't feel anything. Dang it! Dang it! No! Ah! It was taste and smell first, wasn't it? Oh my gosh! No! Crap! What are my options now? Do I have to just live with this? Okay, I don't know how long ago this was. 1:53? This was 20 minutes ago. Dang it! I thought it was touch and then taste and smell. But it was backwards. It was taste and smell and then touch? Dang it! Ugh! Alright, so I wasn't able to get her out. Can I do anything with her? She's in a coma? Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel like garbage. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna finish this sequence for the stream. I think I'm coming back and playing this again. And trying to do a better job of that. I really... Oh, that bothers me. That bothers me a lot. I really want her to get out of this. Okay, let's talk to Timmy. Destruct says there was a prompt that said you only had time for one more action. You probably needed to pull her out right then. Oh, I missed that prompt. I don't know where that prompt appeared. I didn't see it. Oh, weird. Okay, yeah. It is tough when you're like, you're playing a game. It's like your focus can sometimes get really narrow, and somebody who's watching the game from afar can see more than you can. And so, yeah, all right. Okay, so now there's a bar about his emotional state. So let's see what we can do here. So here's Timmy. The kid looked around with terror in his eyes. When I approached him, he trembled. Are you gonna question me? Oh, shush, Raneth Court. Raneth Court says, it was text in the game, so Jeffrey probably filtered it out. This entire game is text, Raneth Court. I'm reading lots and lots of text. Give me a break. What I did was I got emotionally caught up in the moment, and I was feeling urgency the same way the character would be feeling urgency. That was effective storytelling, is what that was. All right. So, see you later, Destructs. I'm really glad that you joined us for this. Calm down. We're just going to talk. So, questioning is best left to the police. I'm here to help Mr. Haggis' son, so let's just talk, all right? Okay, I want to help too. Okay, so I'm moving this direction. Seems like this is maybe positive feelings that will unlock stuff, but negative feelings might also unlock stuff. Interesting. Tell me what happened. It was Fredo's 16th birthday, and we were inside an adult game. He turned red and stared intensely at his shoes. What do you want to know? So we could ask about Starlet. But let's... I feel like I might want to start slow and build up his, like, positive feelings towards me. So let's talk about him first. Let's focus on you, Timmy. Oh, yeah, let's help him out. He was tired and confused. I wonder which medication would be best for him, and gave him something to invigorate him, or for let's calm him down. Here, Timmy, take this. It'll help you come to your senses. He loosened up. He was now seeing a friendlier reality. All right, I believe you want to help. It was Fredo's birthday. Did I already mention that? So we logged into Paradise Beach. It's a place where adults get together there. You can read all about it in the description. He turned red like my grandma's geraniums. Okay, let's ask about that since he's bringing it up. Tell me, Timmy. Maybe why Paradise Beach? Why did you choose Paradise Beach? Well, to have some fun. Help him choose his words? People normally log into Paradise Beach to pick someone up, flirt a bit, or go to bed with someone. Is that what you were looking for? He starts daydreaming. Yeah, Fredo said you needed to have an instinct, and we have it. We were godlike, because we always know how to handle girls. He had no idea how to handle girls or game decks. I knew he was lying. I believe you, really, I do, and I want to help. It's just that I can't quite remember. I don't know what happened. He had trouble putting sentences together and remembering the events. It wasn't just shock. Something had really disturbed his nervous system. Your nervous system is overloaded, but it will regenerate. It'll pass. Breathe. Okay, so he's getting towards a secret here. I wonder if asking about Starlet will be okay or if that's going to upset him. What can you tell me about Starlet? She's a stripper. She knew the game well, so Fredo hired her as a guide. She was very brave. What did she do that was so brave? She was dancing so flirtatiously and teasing us. She was so direct. And he was embarrassed. Dang it, I thought Starlet might be wrong for this. Dang. She knew little of that world, but was brave enough to guide us. She was so provocative. Thankfully, mainly towards Fredo. She barely spoke to me. What else do you want to know? I guess we'll ask about Fredo. Get him to talk about Fredo. Maybe that'll be positive. He's my buddy, same school and stuff. Once this kid Alex called me names, so Fredo flushed his walk-tail down the toilet. He smiled at the memory. Then he altered the hollows in the school gallery to give Alex a pig snout that constantly oozed this disgusting mucus. Fredo's brilliant. What do you need to do to become a game deck? Tell him he has a... Admit it's easy. Tell him he's got a shot at it. You want to be a game deck, Timmy? I'm sure you can handle it. Aha! Secret time. You seem all right. I'll tell you what Fredo looks like in the game. He bought us both skins. Mine was almost as cool as his. Old Man Haggis doesn't know. We used an agent and covered our tracks so no one would find out we were going into an adults-only world. Okay, so like what did he tell me? Do I have that information now? Okay, so I've got an action I can take. I can go to Paradise Beach, but let's... Is there more I can ask about him? Why did he log off without Fredo? This feels accusatory. Let me ask... I can keep pushing him this direction, I think, if I'm really friendly. So he likes whatever Fredo plays. Space sims like Dream Space or Dying Stars. Shooters. Crying Guns is our favorite. Okay, he loosened up. So... I wonder... Let's ask him why Fredo's not coming out, maybe? Why is Fredo still inside the game? I don't know. He liked it there and wanted to stay as long as possible. Maybe he's having fun? Could Fredo have lost track of time? It would have to have been an amazing session to disregard the danger of exceeding the permitted playtime. He was slowly opening up to me. We didn't because we always buy the most expensive tech and win. And everyone envies us. No risk, you know? It was supposed to be like that. You know how it is, don't you? Take him down a peg? No. So if I wanted this set of 3 secrets, I could have been aggressive with him this entire time, I think, and pushed him down this path. But I decided to go nice. Sure, let's confirm that. Yeah, everyone likes to show off now and then. We're getting there. He liked me. Okay. I gotta figure out some other way to keep him being friendly with me. Oh, let's say where he left him. That's not accusatory. Where was Fredo when you came out of the game? He was on the beach by these big dunes. Was he planning on staying there? Or did he want to go somewhere else? Fredo was having a good time. He probably stayed in that world, in that area. I've heard that game devs can pull players out of any tough situation. Have you always been able to until now? Okay, none of these are good. I'm not going to impersonate a police officer, though. I'm not going to tell him about tragic consequences. Let's just do my best here. I'm usually able to get people out of trouble, but I'm not infallible. Next time, don't do anything stupid. I understand. Okay. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? His relationship with his father? Do they like each other? Dang it. So I think that if I had managed to get through it without doing anything negative, I would have already been at that secret. But because I made some choices that pulled him back, I think I might never get that final secret. All right. Well, it might be... Oh, you know what? How many worlds might have been a good question before. He had trouble putting on his suit. Let's show him some understanding. I went to parties and drank booze too. I understand. Booze is for the old or the poor. Fredo and I have better stuff. But the girl Fredo brought had booze. She said that was included. He calmly waited for the next question. Okay, so dang it. I'm just so tantalizingly close to this secret. Ranith Cord, yeah, I did try surviving the aftermath at one point. That's sort of the banished-like apocalyptic game. Yeah, I did. I think it didn't quite grab me, but I think I did try it out. So let's ask what they were doing inside the game. Let's ask about other activities. What else? You were gone for a few days. There we go. Okay, we made it. I'm glad it didn't require perfection the way that pulling Starlet out did. So we spent some time in a theater turned club. We had some drinks. And so, yeah, he doesn't want me to ask him about erotic things. I trust you, and I'll tell you the truth. Just please don't tell Mr. Haggis. We went inside, twisted and perverted. It's a world where people hurt each other for pleasure. It's horrible. And Fredo, he's still in there. Please find him. Hurry. Thank you, Timmy. You've been a great help. Okay, so now... So I would have gone looking for him in Paradise Beach. Except he's not there. He's in Twisted and Perverted. Okay. So I think we're probably good. So we got all these characters. We got Timmy, information about Timmy. We've got Starlet, who I hope I can still save. So now, I guess it's time to take action. Wait, technologies? Oh, this is just background information in the world. This isn't a thing I have to pay attention to. So let's look for him in Twisted and Perverted. Okay. So now, okay, so there's another step to this whole process. I might not get to go through this entire process this session because I've got stuff I've got to get onto. But, oh yeah, look at this. There looks like there's a lot of steps to this process. Holy cow. Okay, yeah, no, we're not getting through this entire process today. But that's fine. The main reason I wanted to stream this was to figure out how this game works as a detective game. And it feels like it's pretty innovative because it's basically looks like there's a lot of things I need to discover in order to progress the right way. But there's a lot of different ways to discover them. Different skills can unlock different options. And so I'm trying to develop my character, make the right choices, deduce. Yeah, it's like they're kind of making these, like, there's a lot of types of games where they really they give you a set of tools and it's extremely open-ended. Games like Zachtronics games, for instance, where, you know, you can just do anything and the creative solution is up to you. mysteries are really hard to do that way because, I mean, there has to be a particular answer. There has to be a reality that you're uncovering. And so, it can't just be an open-ended puzzle-solving thing. It has to actually come to specific conclusions that the designers create. But then once you start locking down the specific outcomes, the number of different routes you can take there are also locked down. And it's very easy to make a mystery solving game feel very linear, feel very like, oh, you just do the things in the right order, like any sort of adventure game. You just are trying to solve the puzzles and eventually you get there. Trying to take a mystery solving game and make it feel very broad and open-ended is extremely challenging. And coming up with tools to let you do it, let you feel like you've got a lot of creative input into the process and that it could have gone a bunch of different ways and the way you chose is meaningful, is just... Yeah, that's it's hard to achieve, and it looks like part of what they're doing here is they're throwing a lot of different choices at it. They're going with basically just volume of choices along a lot of different axes to try to sort of give you enough breadth to work with that you feel like the particular route you chose is very specific to you and very expressive of how of where you're going. Wrath of Vaden asks, how do you feel about Disco Elysium? I felt the game was great as far as a detective game went, but this game looks very neat too. I'm glad I was able to tune in. So Disco Elysium was one of my favorite games anywhere near this genre. They do such a brilliant job of the same thing that GameDeck is trying to do, which is, it's a specific world with specific mysteries and by its very nature, a limited number of outcomes, but they give you a lot of space to move around in and define yourself. And the game is really kind of it's partly about uncovering the mystery, but it's also partly about defining yourself within this world and how you operate as a person. And that side of it is a huge part of what makes that game feel unique and expressive in a way that a lot of adventure games that are just about getting to the conclusion don't. And so, it's almost like the difference between a very plot-driven movie or TV show or story versus a very character-driven movie or TV show or story. Where there's a lot of stories where it's just like they'll make mistakes and they'll sort of mess up their characters because all they care about is mechanically what happens next. Whereas people who are really good at developing characters will sometimes have unpredictable plots where it's like George R.R. Martin. Seems like he often doesn't actually know where his plot is going to go because he gets so deeply involved with the characters that he can actually get himself stuck sometimes. Apparently, this seems to be the way what he's been describing with the Game of Thrones series is because he isn't willing to violate who the characters are in order to sort of just get the story to go somewhere. And so sometimes I can get him into situations where it's hard to figure out what to do next. Whereas there's a lot of writers who will just plow the characters under in order to make the plot happen. And so with video games, like adventure games and stuff, a lot of them are, they lock the characters down in a certain way to just make it so that you can, basically they make it all about the plot. It's about getting, solving the puzzles, getting to the answers, and getting to the end. But whereas games like GameDeck appears to be, and like what Disco Elysium does really well, is they make, at least a huge chunk of the game is actually about who you are as a person and expressing that. And that gives the game enough sort of creative wiggle room for you as a player that you feel like your playthrough of the game is really personal and really expressive of who you are, and that sort of gives it a kind of experience you just can't have in any other medium. And so it's really exemplifying what games have the potential to do well. So anyway, I don't think I've been extremely coherent about this, but these are the thoughts that are running through my head as I look at this game. So Senor Sausage, I'm running out of time. I'm not going to be able to go much further with this mystery, but basically, Senior Sausage just showed up and asked, wait, what's this game about? So to sum it up, you play a detective. Is it really a detective? It's a mixture of detective and sort of a helper for hire. Basically, people get in trouble inside sort of virtual reality video games in this future world, and they call you because you're an expert who has the skills that it takes to rescue people, pull them out, and investigate crimes and other, misbehavior. And so I've been brought here to help rescue this guy's son who seems to be trapped in a virtual world. And I'm sort of uncovering all of the sordid details of what's going on with his son so that we can try to rescue him. And it's given me a lot of different options. Like I chose a particular type of character up front to play in this scenario. And that opened up options to me that might not have been open to another character. And so there's this very sort of expressive way that I'm going through this mystery and trying to solve it. It's really cool. So let me talk to Jeffrey. He thinks I'm wasting his time. Mr. Haggis, I've come to a decision about Fredo. I'm listening. Fredo might be inside the adults-only world, twisted and perverted. You know, the one combining sex and violence. I should look for him there. That's what I was afraid of. Do your thing. The access fee for that virtualium will be taken care of. All expenses are on me. Okay, so now I'm going to need to log into a game. So, like I said, I don't have a lot of time. Is this a spare couch I should use? And so, but I want to see what it looks like for my character to go into a virtual world, because I feel like that's an important missing piece. Otherwise, I think I might actually start on my own time, start the game over and see if I can actually pull Starlet out successfully and sort of do a better job of executing the first part of this mystery before I move on to the second part. And then I think I'm going to start saving and loading the game more often to just see what's possible. That's kind of what I did in Disco Elysium, because even though I really wanted to sort of follow the all of my choices to their natural conclusions, there were definitely cases where I missed out on opportunities and parts of the story that I really wanted my version of the character to see and be able to express himself in. And so I would sort of back out of choices, make different choices, and try to get through it in the ideal way. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes when you're approaching a game like this, you want to just take the results of your choices, whatever they were. And that's one kind of experience you can have. But if you don't have a lot of time to replay the same game again and again, if there's parts of the game that you really want to see, or if there's particular types of stories you really want to tell with the character that you're playing, I think there's nothing wrong with saving and reloading, learning what you can about the game, and then trying to find your ideal path through it. I think all of those different approaches are perfectly valid. So let's get into the couch and see what this game looks like. An 11-bits couch in full working order, the latest model, obviously. Okay, so if I had chosen the Paradise Beach deduction, I would be going into Paradise Beach, and it would be the wrong place to find this kid. So let's enter the correct place, which I deduced. At least I'm assuming it's correct. So something bad had happened in TNP. Fredo must be there, so I needed to go in. So let's see what it looks like to go from the real world, from Realium into Virtualium. So I don't know how long I want to spend in Twisted and Perverted or how deeply I want to explore this place, because I try to have a family-friendly stream. And I don't know how weird this place gets. So, okay, so each Virtualium has its own HUD, a status bar on the top of the screen, and in TB the HUD shows the player's level, their experience points, slots for owned objects, and counter of kills and deaths. Okay, so they actually change my HUD within the game of GameDeck to reflect the fact that I'm now in a video game. Okay, I've continued to gain. Okay, I'm getting pretty close to sensory surgeon. So that's kind of cool. Let's poke around here just a little bit. I talk to this guy. Psst, buddy. Hey, I'm trying to interact with you, but your dialogue keeps preventing me from it. There we go. Bob Zappa. I'd like to note that I don't want to put anything inside you or pull anything out or do anything the Elsie's deviants do. I'm not like that. You seem like the only normal guy in the whole circus, and I have a sensitive problem. Very sensitive. I'll just say it. I'm looking for my wife. All right. Tell me more. All right, this is how it is. I've been standing here at this streetlight for an hour, and I can't find Rhonda anywhere. At the same time, I feel like she's cheating on me. He's not looking right? Let me tell you a little secret. If you want to find someone, you need to go look for them. Go is the key word. Now let's cut to the chase. I'm a game deck, and I need specific information. A game deck? I lucked out! I was told she plays here often and has quite the results. Ugh. Skin? Why does that say skin? Oh, what does her skin look like? How can I identify her? She's wearing people's skins. I mean, a skin, like a gaming avatar. It's like, oh, I know what a skin is. I thought you were talking about another perversion. Humans skinned alive. No matter. I have no idea what she looks like here. So will you help me? Sure, I'm benevolent. All right, I'll look for her. Really? Thank you. There are some good people left in the world. So I've got, like, this side objective now? How's that going to be tracked? Okay. Listen, I'm looking for someone. Maybe anything to do with Rhonda? Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so he only wants to talk about Rhonda, so... Do you know the handle she uses? There was someone in the anonymous letter. Some, horny or something. Okay, does your wife have any special preferences? She's into some strange things. She likes to push the limits. But he's like, how do you push the limits in a place like this? Yeah, okay. She's into stuff. Enough. All right, well, I think... Let's ask about him, actually. Who are you? A loser, can't you tell? A loser? I rarely get to hear someone be so critical of themselves. What am I supposed to be like? My wife's running off to that... Let's comfort him? Hey, it happens. It's not the end of the world. No, just wait. I was tipped off anonymously that she hangs out here doing those awful things, so I started looking for the location, some kind of exclusive level. I spent all my savings to get here, to this Sodom and Gomorrah. My own money. Expensive? It costs that much to get in here? It's pretty expensive. I didn't get here right away because I'm a loser. The tipster wanted money, but I, a great designer, didn't want to pay. I started looking around on my own. I told myself, Bob, you've been making games for years. You can't let yourself be fooled by dirty tricks. Listen, man, Paywall took me for a ride. I ended up in some premium events, and like the loser that I am, I had to go back to the tipster and pay. That's how I got here. Broke. Okay, so you make games? I'd never touch an abomination like this one. But it doesn't matter. I was fired. You're firing? Why did they fire you? It's a long story. I was working on harvest growth systems for harvest time, and they gave me an AI assistant. I trained it, taught it, corrected it, and then they let me go. Too bad they didn't tell me earlier. Would have spent all the money looking for my wife. Okay, so I think I might know everything that he can tell me. All right, I'm going to go. So I'm surprised that we've got another case in here. I didn't think that was going to be... Okay, I'm benevolent again, so I'm getting real close to this one. I just need to do something determined. But... So in the deduction zone here... Okay, so I've got Fredo's mystery here, but I have nothing reflecting Bob Zappa's mystery. So I think side quests must really just be separate things, just outside. I've got a quest log over here. They just must be separate from the main mystery, and it don't work the same way. Okay, this world is significantly bigger than the last one I was in. Here's Ramon. And a stranger. Let's just listen in. They're going to go somewhere more private. And... Wait! There's a... What? There's a unicorn? What? Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm a unicorn. What? No, what? What is going on? A unicorn just shows up and starts messing with these people who are trying to hook up? Okay. Oh, let's see the trick. Great. What? What in the world was that situation? Okay. All right, so we're at the point where I'm running out of time, and this world is much bigger than the office that I was in before. I was thinking that it might be as simple as, like, you know, oh, just walk to a couch, walk to a character, get into a deep conversation with them, and there would be more like that, but it looks like I'm actually gonna have to do some exploring, which is gonna take some time that I don't have. So, but I think that we've really learned a lot about the kind of game that this is. And so, you know, I really hope that, you know, if you're the kind of player who, like, you know, like me, I got super into Disco Elysium, and I really love, like, open-ended, you know, adventure games like this. This might be worth checking out. So, yeah, I guess that's probably where we're going to leave it. So, here's a subscribe button to my channel, and links to other games that I've played, and I'm gonna go to work.